Hi guys, this is Frenchie, and today I found a very old HDD inside my wardrobe. Inside this HDD there's projects that I've done like in my first year of color grading, and I just find interesting that we open one and see what were the mistakes that I've done as a beginner, and also how I would go about it with my experience now. If you don't know me and you are new to the channel, I'm Chloe. I'm a professional colorist. I work mostly in commercials and music videos. And I'm here on YouTube to share my tips and some tutorials for you to improve your color grading. Okay, let's watch this project. Okay, so guys, we are in the timeline, and already I'm seeing some stuff that I don't like. This music video, the brief was we want all the outdoor shots to feel grayish, and we want like all the indoor shot to feel poppy. I'm on one indoor shot, and what I can tell already is that my shadows are crushed. If you see in my graph, there's my shadows are super crushed. So we have an effect, and this is Blackmagic Gen 4, Gen 5 to Blackmagic Gen 4. Okay, this, I would say this is a mistake because DaVinci doesn't handle very well the use timeline into color space. So when you use timeline, for example, DaVinci would just interpret weird sometimes the timeline. So I always like to put rec 709 and output gamma. I mean whatever output gamma I want to add. So yeah, this try to avoid it. So output gamma, yes, in neon film log. Okay, tone mapping, none. It's not that great. It doesn't really work that much because you still need like the highlights to be a bit managed, the saturation to be a bit managed. So I would just put DaVinci, for example, or luminance mapping and saturation compression. I applied a lot, so let's see. And this is like the Kodak 2383 D65, which is fine. It was fed by the good Cineon film log. And what I don't understand is I have a balance before my color transform, which is okay, good. And I have some curves that are not doing that much after my LUT. Why it's not doing that much? It's because as your LUT is before and your color space transform is before, you don't have that much room to affect the color. So let's go to an outdoor shot, and you can see we can't see anything. I'm gonna be very real with myself. We can't see anything, Chloe. What the hell happened? So we're just gonna go through the note tree. I don't know. So yeah, I did the same. I don't know why I didn't put the tone mapping and everything. And I still it's the same LUT, which is okay, that's fine. And after we have the balance, which I went from so bright to something that is really dark, and you can't see anything. Everything is crushed, and not actually nothing. It's not crushed, but you can't see any shit, And so I toned down the lights. Okay, so I've done some unsaturated thing, and what I've done is I tried to bring him back after the LUT. my points comes back to the same as the indoor shots, which is like you should always put like something, you know, in your color space transform. Never use timeline, you know, for DaVinci to try to guess what's going on in your timeline, because sometimes you can really have funky results. Tone mapping, like just put DaVinci if you have no clue about which tone mapping you need, but at least DaVinci. The second point is do not grade after your color space transform, because you're gonna be so limited, you know, into your grade. So for example, when you have a color space transform and a LUT, never grade after your LUT, because the problem is everything's going to be fed by the LUT. So all the colors from the LUT would be then like taken by the software, and when you're gonna try to modify your balance or colors or everything, it's gonna be so difficult, because you already have colors that are baked in before. Okay, so most of the time just like do your colors, I mean your secondaries, before your color space transform and your LUT. That's gonna save you so much time and so much frustration, because I think I have been quite frustrated with this project. I remember to make it like black and grayish, you know. So my light just stopped, guys. We are in complete dark. I'm sorry for this. Let's continue. YOLO. So after what I said, we're gonna grade this frame with the requirements from the director, which was like, I want a world that is grayish. And I'm gonna show you like how to do it, and how to do it like in a clean manner, because this is actually pretty messy, as like I don't see the face of the singer, you know, in the frame. So what I'm gonna do is just like keep this still first to compare, and what we are doing, I'm just gonna see, I've done groups, oh my god, okay. What we are doing is resetting all the node grades, and we're gonna focus on this shot. So I want something that is gray around him. I want a world that is gray. So easy. And also like I'm gonna keep my method, which is trying to put a film LUT, you know, inside this footage. So then I show you like this grade with a film LUT, and I show you like how to handle the color space transform. So we're gonna take color space transform, and we're gonna go from that was Gen Blackmagic Design White Gamut Gen 4 or Gen 5 to Pocket 6K, because I remember there was a Pocket 6K. So this is quite nice image. Don't use timeline. We go from Rec 709 to Cineon Log. Cineon. And we stay at use white point. I stay in DaVinci, and I'm gonna go to my LUT. Leave me alone. Go to my LUT, and I'm gonna apply the LUT. It's quite nice. It's pretty nice. So we're gonna do the balance now, and the balance of the shot is gonna be before our color space transform and our LUT. So just let me put color space transform and 2383. Okay, so this one is LGD. You start to know like my process. So we're just gonna open up a bit. Even if I want something dark, for the moment I'm just balancing the shot, so then I know what's going on in my shot. So this is really quick. we just are gonna tone down a bit the light with the HDR. So we tone down a bit, so because we want something a bit moody. So node label is HDR, and we're gonna create our world. So my method for this is we want to keep the skin tones as clear as possible. Actually, we don't really want like the gray world to affect that much the skin tones. So what we're gonna do is using the magic mask, because I want to kind of roto this guy, you see. So I'm just gonna go to this magic mask and put my plus pipe, and I'm just gonna draw around him. So when I put my highlight mode, I can see like what I'm taking. So I just want the yellow jacket actually to not be so affected, and we can just like make our nice roto with our selecting tools. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just gonna track everything. So let's track, let's wait, see. So you see like the tracking is just like keeping him selected, and everything around him is not selected. So there's a bit of mess, but that's fine, you know, like what we are doing is just like taking our blur radius and blurring a bit the edge, so then everything looks natural. What I want to do first is actually just affecting the surroundings. So I'm just gonna click this button here to invert what I've done, and after I'm gonna take care of his skin and his character. So for this, I'm just gonna go to my saturation tool and just like play around. I want something grayish, but not completely unsaturated, you know, because it's a bit weird. So we just do this, and you see like the delimitation is pretty obvious. So we have a nice gray here and him like completely unaffected. So it's not that natural, right? So we're just gonna add a node outside, and it's gonna affect just this guy. So what I want to do is actually unsaturate this guy, but not too much, so then like it's still having some colors compared to the background. And what I can see is actually his skin tone is a bit too pinkish, so I'm just going to take his skin vector. Where is his skin? Skin is here in the red side actually. So I'm just going to take the skin vector and just going to go to something a bit more yellow. Okay, so then we have a bit more neutral skin. So we just done this, and I'm gonna go, because we want something a bit moody and dark, just gonna go down with my LGG. Okay, so a bit down. Okay, and now it's like trying to find the right spot. I'm just gonna go down, still want like some nice saturation, and what I want to do is actually having him brighter than like the background. So I'm just gonna take in my background, let's just put node label background and character. Let's just take our in our background our curve, and we go down, so it makes like a nice delimitation between him and the background. If I raise him up, actually, I would say, yeah, we are just like playing around for the moment. Play around, you know, like take your time for this kind of grade. Like I think it's nice to experiment. Let's just go with a vignette around him. I'm just gonna highlight him a bit more and add an outside like this, pretty nice. And I'm just gonna take my gain and go down again, so then we have something really moody, and take my leaf down, it's very moody, and then we have something that is actually, you can see his face. So we went from this, which is our base with our LUT, to this, you know. So then I can just grab a still of it and compare the two. So if you see, we have a big difference. This one was the original grade, which like we can't see anything, you know. I can't see where his face is, and here we have like how I would go about the grade now, which like have a bit more clarity, you know, in the face, because then like we can really see him popping out, and we are still moody but not too much, so then we can still see everything that's happening in the frame. So I leave you with this frame. Just remember, like when you are beginning in color grading, it's a process. If you like the process, continue, you know, like you got this, really, you got this. I see you next week, guys. See you.